Hey there, welcome back. I hope everybody's doing good out there today. Today I'm going to be doing another patron shout out request for Bruno, my original, the band, the myth, the legend, Bruno. He has been with me from the beginning. So much support. Everything you do for me, Bruno, it means the world to me. All the support you've given me, all the encouragement. I just can't say enough about you. You are an absolute badass. Thank you so much for all your support. It really does mean everything to me. It really does. Today, he has me watching the next of the BAND-MAID Ohrenje documentaries. This time it's going to be MISA. Everybody knows I love MISA. She is one of my favorite people on the planet. I love that woman so much. And I can't wait to get her story. I've loved these documentaries. I believe the only one I have left, or the only three I have left after this, is Miku, because I've done... Wait, who have I not done? I've done Konami, I've done Akane, I'm doing Misa. Oh, I haven't done Psyche yet. So I've got Psyche and the three. I believe Miku is split up into three. So I'm excited for it. I love these women. I love these ladies so much. And Misa is... I fell in love with Misa the first video of BAND-MAIDs I did. So I'm excited for this. This is going to be so good. I love these ladies. So Bruno, thank you so much for everything you do for me. It really does mean the world to me. Let me switch on over to BAND-MAID's Ohrenje. I hope I'm saying his name right. Ohrenje has done an insane job on these documentaries. These documentaries should be up on movie screens and TV screens. This is as professional as it gets. Ohrenje, I know you watched you watched a couple of my reactions to your stuff. You are a badass, and thank you for your love for this band and everything you've done for them. It means so much. But I'm excited for this. So here we go with the BAND-MAID documentary for MISA. It's going to be a long one, but here we go.
はい、じゃあ次はベースミサ
ミサちゃん。
ミサちゃんは1回目で言ってびっくりされるのはステージドリンクがウイスキーストレート
本当にあの人酔っ払うんです
ねえ、もう本当に2時間とかはまあ長いとやったり
すると結構後半はもうフラフラというかもうベロベロというか
ベロベロですぽね、出来上がりつつある感じですぽね、
かなって感じ、
まあでもよりね、なんだろう、グルービーなベースを
そうベースの演奏が良くなるから
緊張しいだったりちょっとするところがあるので、
ピュアだから
とてもバンドメイドで一番純粋な心を持ってるの。
見た目はねクールビューティーな、アジアンビューティーな感じなんだけど、
海外からのね人気はすごいですぽね、
一番ですね、
ミサってすごいコールが起きるぐらい、
だって怖い印象を受けるもんね、最初は
あんまりこう喋らないからね、
そう怖い人だと思ってましたっていうコメントよく見る、
ね、でも小学生みたいなねことですごいくだらないことでミサちゃん一番笑うし、
変顔もすごいする、
もう一番そういうの大好きだもんね。だから怖いとは一番真逆にいる。
一番面白い人かもしれない。
My cheeks are already hurting from smiling so much.
一番面白い人だもんね、きっと。
Okay, unfortunately, this is going to be a longer video, so more than likely it's going to have a couple of ads in it. I'll chop them out, but that's why there was a cut right there. And I backed it up a little bit. My cheeks are already hurting from smiling so much. First of all, I love Miku and Psyche. They have such great back and forth, such great rapport with each other. And they're funny. Misa, I love those little stories. They're already getting into it for Misa. She's just such an amazing person. But I'm excited for this. So here we go.
そうだっぽね。バンドメイドの一番面白い人だっぽね、きっと。
With an introduction like that, I think we can figure out who's going to be highlighted in today's video. So today, let's talk about MISA. MISA was born on October 15th in Okayama, a prefecture close to Osaka, and next to Hyogo, where Akane was born. According to her mother, she was an easy child to raise, as she used to play by herself. Even though she was a lively child, she always avoided dangerous situations and tried to act like an adult. She loved music and arts in general, but hated studying. And just like Konami and Akane, music has been a part of Misa's life since her early childhood, as she started to learn piano when she was around 4. In elementary school, she joined a brass band and played alto horn. Right when she entered junior high school, MISA moved to Tokyo due to family circumstances, and her temper changed a lot. She had a hard time fitting in with life in the big city and getting along with her peers from the same grade. She was also afraid to be judged because of her accent, which was different from the other children, and became more and more introverted. In 7th grade, she started to play guitar, but ended up joining a concert band in 9th grade, where she played the trumpet. Even though she did learn a lot of different instruments, she kept learning piano for a few years. In high school, she played as a guitarist vocalist in a Keon club with a Fender Squier model that she bought. One day, an older friend of MISA asked her if she could join his band as a bassist. Until then, she'd never thought about playing bass. She started to play guitar and always wanted to play drums, but bass? It had never crossed her mind.
She was
MISA
born
borrowed
to
a
do
bass
it,
and
though.
started to play. And even though it was difficult, she loved it and bought a Squier P bass immediately so she could give back the bass she borrowed. And one of the main reasons MISA got introduced to music at such an early age was that her mother listened to music all the time. This is how MISA got to hear bands like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and The Who when she was still only in kindergarten. Her mother was also very supportive and helped MISA choose the right school when she hesitated between university and professional college. MISA started a course on sound engineering in a professional college before changing to a bass course, as she didn't want to work behind a stage, but on stage as a professional bassist. Before talking about BAND-MAID, let's take a look at MISA's past experience in the music industry. Except for small bands during her school years, MISA had been a member of a band named Prototype for 5.5 years between 2008 and 2013. Prototype was a small band composed of 4 members, and the band made at least 2 mini-albums and performed several live concerts. We don't have that much information, but it seems that they sold their CDs directly and not via music stores. They used to perform in and around Shimokitazawa, which is where MISA lived, and Shibuya. There is a review of one of their live performances which states that they sound like the Smashing Pumpkins and are appealing to everyone who loves Western music. The person...
Okay, sorry, I'm not going to stop it very often, but interesting. Are any of the those songs from her previous band on YouTube? I'd be interested in kind of maybe looking into it. I'm not a giant Smashing Pumpkins fan, but it's definitely accessible rock music that I'm sure she's amazing on it. The fact that she didn't immediately think to jump to the bass is crazy, because she was born to play the bass. In my opinion, and me as a nobody on YouTube, I really do think she is one of, if not the best bass player alive today. She is so good. She was absolutely born to be on that stage with that bass. So good.
One of their live performances, which states that they sound like the Smashing Pumpkins and are appealing to everyone who loves Western music. The person who wrote this review also said that they couldn't stop smiling. It sounds like this band must have played some great music. But that's not all. While she was playing for Prototype, MISA joined another band called Hurtist. This band was formed with 6 members who performed live several times before disbanding in October 2012. You can find 3 of their live videos on their YouTube channel. MISA and Akane also met in 2012 as they were going to the same school, the Tokyo Music School. They connected immediately as instrumentalists and worked together on several projects. The same year, they made an appearance as actors in an MV of the singer-actress Becky with the song Yoruka Switch. In 2015, MISA, along with Konami and Akane, were at the 5th anniversary party of the idol band Predia in ZEP Tokyo as a backing band. You do remember the link between Predia and BAND-MAID, right? There was a band called Mochi to Cheese made by Akane, Konami, and 3 members from Predia. All right, we are in May 2013. Prototype announced that they will disband in July, and BAND-MAID posted an audition announcement on May 29th. The next month, on June 5th, MISA announced on her old account linked to Prototype that she's going to an audition. Does this mean that MISA had the perfect timing to join BAND-MAID?
It
Let's
was
see how
destiny.
she was recruited. In another interview, MISA confirmed that Akane tried to recruit her into BAND-MAID right when Prototype announced their disbanding. But Akane didn't know about this information, so she was bold enough to invite MISA to join another band. And it paid off. Now, MISA has said that she was in izakaya when Akane called her, and she was pretty drunk, so she had to take at least the night to think about it. MISA listened to the demo and found that the songs were proper rock music and cool. She was actually afraid that this band would be an idol band. As she didn't want to stop playing bass, MISA quickly accepted the invitation to join BAND-MAID the day after Akane talked to her. So in the end, Miku recruited Konami, who was found on Nico Nico. And then Konami recruited Akane just after the restaurant she was working at closed, and Akane recruited MISA just after her group disbanded. Wow. If that is not fate, I don't know what is. Now that MISA had joined BAND-MAID, it's a new start for our favorite bassist. A new start, yes, but with one problem: the maid outfit. MISA was never into cosplay, so she wasn't used to wearing this kind of clothing. She felt really uncomfortable during the first live shows and with the first version of her outfit. It was also around this time when MISA thought about quitting BAND-MAID. It was during
Please
the
no.
first or second one-man performance, and MISA was already working a lot in addition to her work for BAND-MAID, so she was in really bad physical and mental condition. She felt that the music she liked was too far from the music she played with the band, and started to think about leaving and forming a band where she could play the kind of music she liked. She talked to the manager, who proposed that she take a good look at the view from the stage at the Masters and Princesses and decide after that. Thankfully, the reactions and responses from the crowd that day moved MISA deeply enough so she chose to stay with BAND-MAID. She was sure that this band had great potential and could become
And she was right.
way bigger.
And she was
Time
correct.
flies by, and we are at that moment where Konami is writing songs for the band. From world domination, but more in Conqueror and Unseen World, MISA actively participated in songwriting on her bass lines and has felt more freedom since then. Konami gives out notes from time to time depending on the song and what she has in mind. While writing music, MISA thinks more about what would serve the quality of the song rather than be sure that it's playable immediately. She had difficulties recording some songs of Unseen World because of that, but she managed to get them recorded in the end by spending more time on the hardest parts. And even if a song is really difficult for her, MISA will always practice enough so that she doesn't have to look at her hands while she's playing live. For example, the first part of No God was written by Konami, and she asked MISA to write the rest of the song. At this time, MISA was learning bass and drum programming, so she wrote those two parts, including her solo.
God, I love that woman. She's such a badass. Sorry, there's a very unfortunate ad right in the middle of MISA playing her solo, which I do not allow. So I backed it up to the beginning of her playing the No God solo. This is great. I feel so bad that she had a hard time at the beginning getting a feel for the band, because she was destined to be the bass player in BAND-MAID. She is like I said earlier, in my mind, she's one of the best bass players ever. And I can't imagine BAND-MAID without her. It would not work. So this is really good. I'm really enjoying her story.
Playing live. For example, the first part of No God was written by Konami, and she asked MISA to write the rest of the song. At this time, MISA was learning bass and drum programming, so she wrote those two parts, including her solo. It was a new experience for her, and she had to send new riffs to Konami every week for Unseen World. And although she obviously sent her demos to Konami, MISA used to send them to another member, Psyche. MISA sent her work to Psyche to confirm that her bass line was easy to sing with, and also because Psyche praises her a lot. And MISA loves to be praised by Psyche when she's working on a new song. As she wrote in an interview, "I just send them to her without saying anything in order to get praised by her. That's my source of energy. That makes me enjoy drinking better." What a great group of friends they are. There are two particularities regarding MISA when you see her perform on stage. The first one is that she never wears shoes when she's playing.
Barefoot assassin.
With some exceptions on very hot days during outside performances, as the stage can get really hot. This is something she has done since the beginning of BAND-MAID. You can see her wearing shoes in some MV, but most of the time, she likes to play barefoot. She answered a question from a fan in 2014 on Twitter saying that heels hurt her feet and are really hard to walk in, so she chose not to wear anything at all. MISA even ended up with the nickname the Barefoot Assassin. Why? Well, first of all, she plays barefoot. And during the Gold Rush interview, when the band was asked about the maid outfits, and particularly MISA's, which didn't look like a maid outfit, Miku answered that it's an assassin-made outfit. The second thing you'll notice about MISA is that she always has a bottle of whiskey on her amp while performing live. And she even drinks in the MV of Don't You Tell Me. If you look closely at every performance...
Yep, MISA drinks and Akane eats. It's a great music video, by the way. I didn't know that about the Barefoot Assassin. I mean, I knew her nickname was Barefoot Assassin, but I didn't know why. I didn't realize that it came from Miku joking about her. She wears the all black, so she's an assassin maid. That's very funny.
MV of Don't You Tell Me. If you look closely at every performance, you can spot the bottle that she drinks during MCs. During the US tour in 2022, she even had her own opening ceremony where she opened a can of beer in front of her mic to make a loud sound, and the audience really loved that moment. MISA used to open a can of beer or drink whiskey during MCs for a long time, and she even shared a bit of her whiskey with a fan in 2019 during a concert in the New York Mercury Lounge. She is thought to be the one who drinks the most, but if you had a chance to listen to the Radio for Omesu-sama episode aired on August 1st, 2021, you would learn that they all actually drink a lot, except for Konami, who falls asleep before she gets a chance to drink. Despite her love for alcohol, MISA tweeted in May 2022 that she came to realize that it was too much for her and she decided to be more careful in the future.
It's always a good idea.
And now it's time to talk about MISA's playstyle. As usual,
Every
I'll
style.
let proper bassists present their thoughts to you on what they think about MISA. Gentlemen, if you please.
So what makes MISA a great bassist? First of all, she went to musical school, so she learned a lot about music theory. You can see that in her playing. She's constantly moving around the root note, adding or removing note at the end of her phrases, changing the tone by going all over the neck and not just staying at the low end. She masters all the playing styles, finger style, slap, pick. She knows when to use them and always use the right one at the right moment. She can switch from one to another in a blink of an eye, like when she does her pick flip to switch from pick to slap. Her right hand work is so smooth and precise. It's mesmerizing. When it comes to her role in the band, she's a lead bassist. She can flawlessly jump from just playing the root note to taking the lead or providing an harmony to the vocals, and all of this in the same bar. There is no boundaries in her playing. That's what makes her so interesting and very inspiring to me. She's my favorite bassist, and I hope to hear her and BAND-MAID for a lot more years.
Agree.
When I think back about all of the bands that I've loved for many years, so many great bass players, but when I think of the bassists who really excited me, or more importantly the ones whose parts I wanted to learn how to play, I think they all have kind of one thing in common, and that's the use of the bass not just as a tonal and rhythmic foundation for a song, or that kind of glue that holds a band together, but they use the instrument as another source of melody and melodicism and musicality. And I think there are far fewer of those kinds of bassists out there. So imagine my delight as a bassist discovering BAND-MAID, where you have MISA, who's just constantly up and down the neck playing what aren't super complicated parts, but making these really musical choices about a note here versus a note here. She's in many ways a counterpart to Konami in that they're always expanding on a riff or adding new textures or new little motifs. They may play something fairly straight the first time, but after that, forget it. And it's not, again, like the parts are super complicated or technically difficult. They're just really smart, or for me, the big thing is that they're really musical.
How would I describe Misa's playing style? That's a tall order.
Badass.
What makes her special to me is her writing and her flawless ability to judge what to play and when to play it, without shying away from taking.
Oh, he's wearing a guitar spin shirt.
She doesn't just serve the song, filling out the lower frequencies, locking up with the drums. She's actively creating a large portion of what makes the songs what they are. The groove, drive, momentum, anticipation, tension. It's like all her parts serve a purpose larger than just playing notes that work in the right tempo. She really adds another thick layer to the onion that is BAND-MAID. One of my favorite habits of hers is when she's having a bit of a bass solo during the guitar solo, as can be heard in Manners and Reincarnation, for example. It's so backwards to the old tropes about backing down during a solo, but it's always so tastefully made and never distracting, rather the opposite. She also has this ability to tap into what the other instruments are doing and create her own parts from that, seamlessly switching between what instruments to follow. A prime example of that can be heard in the second verse of About Us, especially in the live version. She starts out by establishing the groove with the drums for the first 3 bars, and then a fill during the 4th bar, setting herself up for the next 4 bars, where she gradually starts playing off the vocals. The first 2 bars by matching the vocal phrases, subdivided by 16th notes, And for the second two bars, now the transition is complete, and now she just plays a lower harmony to the vocals. After that, she immediately switches to locking up rhythmically to Kanami's octave climb for one bar. And then, for the last bar, she rounds everything off with a little fill of 16th notes, almost like a drum fill. All that during 10 bars. Her playing and writing is a big reason why I keep coming back to their music over and over again.
I can't agree more with what he just said. The way the way she works her way through the band. Now I don't have the, I haven't listened to each song so I can hear where like she's going with the drums and with the vocals and with the guitar. But I do understand that she does that flawlessly. I keep saying it over and over again, and y'all are probably getting tired of me hearing it or me saying it, but she is the best bass player I've ever heard. I love her. She is so good.
Thank you very much for taking the time to share your experience and knowledge and your feelings regarding Misa's playstyle. I wonder what you, the viewer, what do you think of Misa as a bassist? I'm very interested to know what's on your mind. Let's move to the end of our journey. Misa learned to play a lot of instruments, and even though she knew which ones she wanted to learn, she ended up playing the one instrument she never even thought about. From the moment she picked up a bass, Misa never stopped playing it. She loves bass so much that she even switched courses to become a professional bassist and live from her passion. In the end, Misa ended up with BAND-MAID thanks to the boldest move and the perfect timing. And BAND-MAID is a band where everyone shines. Everyone has a moment in every song. We're used to seeing guitarists and drummers being highlighted, but bassists? That's not very common. How many bands that you listen to allow their bassists to really shine? I'm talking about bands with two guitars or a guitar and a piano. I'm sure you can find some examples, but since its creation, BAND-MAID has always found a way to allow Misa to find her spotlight. From thrill to influencer.
So good.
Dice. Or even manners. During live performances introducing a song, or to go crazy on a duel with Kanami. Even though Misa's personality is mostly introverted, when she is on stage playing bass, she seems finally free and is having the time of her life. She even learned programming and participated actively in the songwriting process. Since she joined BAND-MAID, Misa followed her passion to become a professional bassist and surrounded herself with the best group of friends who have become very close to what we can call a family.
She's so sweet. Great job. Great job. Holy crap. I love Misa so much. Let me sure I get everything. Okay, so that was a patron shout out request for Bruno. Absolute rock star, man. This was the BAND-MAID Ohrenje documentary for MISA. MISA is just such a fantastic person and amazing bass player, absolute phenomenon on that bass. And there's something I want to talk about. At the end we were talking about it, about her personalities, her being an introvert, but on stage she's this absolute joy. She's having so much fun and loving everything. Something I noticed, and when I watched the Live at Yokohama, the 10th anniversary, there were two different Misas. During the songs, when she was playing, she's an absolute monster. She is a beast, just pounding around the stage, playing like nobody on this earth can play, and just an absolute badass. But during the MC sections, when she didn't have her bass on, she's so sweet and shy and such. She's just a little sweetie. And especially during the end of the song, I'll find the picture I took, or the screenshot I took, of them up on the back of the stage on the platform, where she looks so shy, but she's super happy. And I love that those two different personalities that are the same person, where when she puts that bass on, she becomes an absolute monster, and I love it. But it's so cute and sweet to see her almost shy and, into herself, introverted. As an introvert myself, as a very shy person, I get it, and I just, it makes me love her even more that she's like that when she's not playing music, but that she's just an amazing bass player. She's an amazing musician. She's an amazing person. Love it. Love everything about that. So Bruno, thank you so much for requesting this again. I can't wait to see the rest of the documentaries. This band is unbelievable. They are right at the top of my list of favorite bands of all time. Over the last year, BAND-MAID has absolutely become one of my favorite bands, period. Not just of the time, of the moment. Because I have lots of bands that will go up, I'll hear them, I love them, and then they'll kind of taper down a little bit. BAND-MAID is not one of those. BAND-MAID is a permanent fixture at the top of my list. The bands that are like that for me, Nightwish, everybody knows Nightwish is the top of the list. And Nightwish won't go away. Warning, the Warning has become up there. BAND-MAID is up there. Old school bands that I listen to that will never go off my top list. Twisted Sister, Iron Maiden, stuff like that. And BAND-MAID has absolutely cemented itself into that list of all-time favorite bands of mine. I love this band. Bruno, you are an absolute rock star. Thank you so much, and thank you for your support of BAND-MAID. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Again, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing his name, but Ohrenje. Thank you for all the work you put into these documentaries. It's fantastic, amazing, incredible. Thank you so much. If you guys like this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.